Hi, Sag. This is your reading for September 16 through to 30. We're doing our 12 card astrological spread. Let's get into it. In your first house, Sag, of identity, sense of self, divine spark, what makes you you, Sag, oh my gosh, very positive. You have the Queen of Wands. So, Sag, the Queen of Wands in your house of identity really, really extraordinarily empowering. So the Queen of Wands doesn't give two hoots what anybody thinks. She's got her black cat there, and back in the day, that was considered very bad luck. She has no qualms about that. She's really marching to the beat of her own drum. There's a sense of autonomy around her, abundance. She's really sitting in her power. So, Saj, this suggests to me in your house of identity that you've really come home to yourself. So this is very exciting. This is the foundation, too, for the entire reading. Let's see what our clarifier says.
Yep. In the first house, we have the Three of Pentacles. Sorry, I just couldn't read that for a second. It's so small. But the Three of Pentacles is about project work, working together, and refining what you can do. It's better, three heads are better than one. So if there's something around your identity that you're feeling like you need a bit of a camaraderie around, a connection with people around your identity to not give you permission to stand out, but know that you're going in the right direction. Trust the people that are there who are caring for you, who are loving you, and anyone that you kind of look up to. So I'm thinking that's the feeling for the reading so far, standing out in your special qualities and trusting and leaning on those that care for your best interests.
I love that, Em. Saj, in your second house of values and what you're resourced with, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles in your second house suggests that what you're resourced with, your gifts, your skills, your talents, your abilities, everything that you draw on in an effort, in an attempt to bring through abundance, to bring through stability, the work that you're doing around that, you're starting to question, is this energy that I'm investing actually worth what I get out of it? So that's pretty much just the question that it's posing. So what you're resourced with, how you're able to manifest your abundance, you're going, is this really the best way? So let's see what our clarifier says.
Mm. Yes, the Knight of Cups has emerged. I see this as a positive card because it's that someone coming in and telling you yes. It's a yes card, it's not a no card. Something kind of nourishing emotionally. Someone coming in and showing you that you're very worthy. So they're recognizing your worth and value and offering you something around that. Maybe it's connected to some kind of resource or value that's coming through. um, yeah, I think it's a person. I think there's someone stepping in and showing you that you are worth it. Mm.
I like that. Sag, in your third house of communication, you have the Ace of Wands. So this is an offer coming in. This is inspiration. This is a brand new beginning. So the old is done with. You've drawn a line under that. And this is a fresh start fueled by immense inspiration. So, in your house of communication, I get the sense that you're getting a lot of ideas and you're wanting to bring that through. What does our clarifier say, Em?
Mm. Oh, the Death card. So, Death card in the third house as a clarifier is speaking to transformation and rebirth. It's not to be confused with someone passing away. This is actually the death or an ending of something that needs to be finished, so that new growth can come through. And it's an offer of that. It's also interesting because as I'm looking down at the two cards side by side, they look the same, just kind of like alternate contrasting versions of each other. And I think there's something connected to the second house of this knight in shining armor coming through, and then the death. So maybe a positive offer has come through and it's kind of fallen away, but don't be worried if that happens. It's still going to be paving the path for something beneficial to come through.
Yeah, I really get the sense that an offer is going to be communicated to you, and it heralds a huge change. Yeah, how
Mm.
exciting, Sag. So,
Mm.
Sag, in your fourth house, oh, beautiful. You have the Queen of Cups landing in your fourth house of family, home, all things familiar, how you make yourself at home in the world. So the Queen of Cups is very at home with herself. She has mastered her emotions. She has deep reservoirs of emotional strength. She knows how to tap into her intuition. She's abundant. She has great confidence in her skills and her abilities and how to bring that through. So interesting that this is showing up in your fourth house of family, what's familiar, and how to make yourself at home in the world. I guess I get the sense of you've come home to yourself. And because you've come home to yourself, you are now at home in the world in this really empowered, abundant way. And intuition is something that has enabled this. What do you get for us, Em, in our clarifying card?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Queen of Wands. So Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands being paired together. The Wands is that queen that showed up in the first house as well. So using that self energy and clarifying that with the emotional wisdom of the Queen of Cups. Passion, fire, ideas, assertion, something like Leo energy. And then the Queen of Cups, which is more like the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, combined together to make something really steamy and positive.
Yeah, and I just got the sense that if you want a family, if you're wanting to create a family, this is really positive. It's very positively indicated for you. Sag, in your fifth house of creative expression, you have the Hierophant. So
Mm.
the Hierophant is blessings. So I feel like if you take the risk and start expressing yourself more creatively, blessings will come through for you. And then because of those blessings, a bit like a positive self-fulfilling prophecy, if I can spit it out, the blessings will then empower you to be more creatively expressive. And then that creative expression brings blessings. It's quite the tongue twister. So the Hierophant can also be a little set in his way. So it's funny that he's showing up in the fifth house, which is kind of like gay abandon, like really going for it, letting your light shine, just kind of allowing that inner child, that little kind of natural, playful show off out into the world, because the Hierophant's quite a serious card. So it suggests to me that that might be like a stable grounding force that you're using as a springboard, or it could be that that Hierophant energy, that more traditional energy, just isn't holding you back anymore, and you're really going for creative expression. But let's see what our clarifier says.
So the Hierophant is clarified by the Ace of Cups, and this is about constant self-fulfillment. Where in your life are you feeling that rich, nourishing self-fulfillment with how you creatively express yourself? And if the Hierophant's emerging in that position, I'm wondering if I see the Hierophant as a prophet, and maybe you're being called forward to prophesize. I know that sounds a bit strange, but perhaps that is your vocation. Something around that, and not just preaching, but sharing your wisdom, sharing your intuitive knowledge. Sagittarius, you're really intuitive around knowledge and seeking and experience. So perhaps that's one way that you're going to feel that self-fulfillment if you're sharing your wisdom with others.
I love that for you, Sag. Yeah, truth through creative expression. How very Saggy. In your
Mm.
sixth house, Sag. So the sixth house rules work, being of service, making good choices, like positive discrimination. You've got the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is laying down a boundary. So in your house of work, I'm wondering if you've had to put up some boundaries in the workplace. Let's see
Mm.
what our clarifier says.
Mm. Boundaries and then celebration. The Six of Wands is asking you
Hmm.
to pay attention to where you feel recognition. I think work is often where we do that most because people are witnessing us in our element. But in this card, there is a side eyeing happening by this figure over here, and I'd be asking you to be careful of people's jealousy or just be aware of that in your environment. If that plays up, don't don't care about it, don't pay too much attention to that. That's their own process. We need to be celebrating and lifting each other up so that our successes can be benefited by everyone. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that one.
Yeah, really lovely success in the workplace for you. And just when you were talking about that side eye, that jealousy, what occurred to me is sometimes a good antidote to a jealous person in the workplace is just throwing a bit of validation their way, because sometimes that jealousy can be around they're not feeling validated or they're invalidating themselves, and that's how it's playing out. So maybe just a little bit of acknowledgement or a compliment or a kindly placed word there, but looks really successful for the workplace, Sag. In your
Mm.
seventh house of relationships, Sag, oh wow, how beautiful. You have
Mm.
the Nine of Pentacles. She is about creating an atmosphere of success, abundance, beauty, and her outer beautiful environment is a reflection of her inner beautiful environment. So, this showing up in your seventh house of relationship, I feel like somebody's coming in for you, Sag, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for a partner. The person that's coming in for you has really got it together. They know how to share themselves, not give away too much. They know how to look after themselves. It could also suggest that to match with this person, you need to step into more of this energy, like really celebrating your inner gifts, your abundance, lots of self-care. So if this person hasn't arrived yet, I feel like you really taking care of you is kind of what's going to magnetize you to this person. What have you got for our clarifier there, Em?
Yeah, the Ace of Swords, really apt. So the Ace of Swords is about speaking your truth and connecting back into that first house again, that the Queen of Wands emerged in. Just knowing that your unique qualities, sometimes what we think can be something that we don't like ourselves is the very thing that someone loves us for. So I'm urging you to speak your truth, and yeah, it sounds like a really beautiful omen for you.
Yeah, lovely relationship coming in. In your eighth house, Sag, oh, hello, repeating card alert.
Ooh.
In your eighth house of transformation and shared resources, you have the Ace of Swords again. So the Ace of Swords is a card of victory. It can also be seen as like perhaps a sacrifice has been needed in order to achieve the success that you have. So, landing in your eighth house of transformation, I'd say there's some inner breakthroughs happening for you, some old patterns that you're very clear that you've left behind, a lot of intentionality. I get the sense that the Ace of Swords is a lot about acumen, clarity, clear seeing, good perception. So you're very aware of the things that you have cut away from, and you've got this kind of freedom now. I get the sense, and this will benefit you in the aspect of shared resources. So great abundance coming in for you. What's that clarifier, Sam?
Yeah. Oh, Page of Cups. More new energy coming through. As a clarifier, it's asking, is this really happening? Is this an illusion? How can you ground that illusion in reality? Um, I guess it's also asking you to pay attention to where you're needing some fresh insight, especially with the Ace of Swords representing new energy as well. Um, and yeah, I think also paying attention to where you're feeling curious around dreams and fantasy and how can that manifest so that you're tapping into more of that victory and that truth for yourself.
Really lovely, beautiful. Sag, in your ninth house, which is your house, Sag and Jupiter rule the ninth house of the
Mm.
higher mind. You have the Three of Pentacles. In your house of higher mind, which is spiritual seeking, higher learning, education, travel, expansion. Jupiter's all about expansion. You have this card is about quality work. So I feel like you have been doing the work, the higher mind work, the transformational work. And as a result of that, you're coming into a beautiful period of expansion. And that expansion is going to get you the notice and the positive attention and the accolade that you deserve. What's that
Mm.
clarifier, Sam?
Mm. And that the Three of Pentacles coming up in the first house as well. So that repeating card there too. The Knight of Swords is saying this is going to come in quick. Maybe this is a person rushing in, or it may be a sense in you that's recognizing this urgency. But it's also the Knight of Swords is a quick message. So he's a messenger, and the sword is about communication and ideas. So it may feel like the message could be harsh or kind of abrupt or sudden, but it's an important one. So however that emerges, be prepared for that. And if it's feeling like it's not well placed or not well worded, try to see if you can read into the underlying message that could have been communicated differently.
Yeah, really interesting. In your 10th house, Sag, you have the Five of Pentacles. So the 10th house is your career, your contribution to the world, your reputation, and your status. So the Five of Pentacles is about being okay with your vulnerability. So showing up in your house of career, I get the sense that you're trying to maybe overcompensate for your vulnerability. And maybe that's because you felt unsafe in career in the past. But sometimes what can happen is when we share our vulnerabilities, everybody's walls come down.
Mhm.
And the more okay you are, the more peace and the more passion you can have for your own vulnerabilities, they can really turn into strength. So oftentimes what's hidden in a vulnerability is a great strength because it's something that you have survived. It's something that you've lived through. So clarifier say M.
Oh, Ace of Pentacles. So I guess the vulnerability is coming through when you can tap into that as an opportunity for something new. And because it's Pentacles, I would say that's connected to work, or some kind of resource accumulation. But again, that energy isn't going to manifest unless you can, sorry, tap into it and actually utilize the opportunity.
The other thing I got just really quickly around this is just what occurred to me is it's okay to just go, yeah, I'm good at that. That is some thank you is all I'll say about that. So yeah, Sag, really interesting times for you in the
Yeah.
workplace.
And can I
And
say
in
quickly
your
as well,
yes,
sorry,
please.
and also the Ace of Pentacles, actually, I think what this is a compliment. So like coming in,
Oh
like here you go,
yeah.
and it's a resource, but it's like, no, I see weaknesses instead. So yeah, I really agree with what you were saying, friend.
Take those compliments, Sag. Just take them. To receive is to give to the giver. You know, when you give somebody a compliment and they kind of shove it back in your face, it's a bit like, oh, so receive
Mhm.
the compliment and bask in your strength and let other people enjoy your strength. Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree with you, Em.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I can't believe this. In your 11th house
Yeah.
of hopes and wishes, you have the strength card. So this is really saying acknowledge your strength and let other people acknowledge your strength, Sag. It won't come back to bite you. Perhaps that's what's happened in the past, called poppy syndrome. Um, but I feel like people want you to celebrate your strengths, and by you doing that you allow them to celebrate their strengths. So this is showing up in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, and friendships, and I get the sense that your strength in friendship empowers other people. So you stepping in and celebrating your own strength is going to be like a little bit contagious. I feel like you're going to grow in strength through friendships, and I feel like the strength that you have is going to allow and enable your hopes and wishes and dreams to be made manifest. But you have to acknowledge that strength. What have you got for our clarifier, Em?
Mm. Oh, that strength is coming through as abundance, Sagittarius. So it's the Nine of Pentacles. And it's that you're very attractive at this time with tapping into that energy of the strength and the vulnerability through that. And it's patience, it's growth. How do you make things that you've already worked for work for you in return now? And I think that is very clear, that message around how can you celebrate your own successes and accomplishments without viewing it as a deficit or an undeserving or imposter kind of situation at this time.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think imposter syndrome may be your Achilles heel. So there could be a bit of a hangover of that. You just need to let it go. Yeah,
Mm.
really lovely. Thanks, Em. In
Mm.
your final house, your 12th house. Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm.
Where did we have this last time? We've got the Ace of Pentacles coming through.
In the ninth
So,
house?
yeah,
No,
I think,
10th house.
yes.
10th house.
Yeah. So it showed up before.
Yeah.
So this is a repeating card. So this is validation and confirmation. So the Ace of Pentacles is about an offer coming in. It's incredible potential. And it's showing up in your 12th house of spirituality, of all things hidden, like the underworld, institutions, that type of thing. So this incredible potential exists within your spiritual life. So I get the sense that for some of you, there's untapped potential for you in accessing your spiritual life and allowing that to come through into the real world. And I think for the majority of you, I get the sense that you're going to start reaping the rewards of tapping into the enormous potential of your deep, deep spiritual self. What does our clarifier say, Em?
And that spiritual energy coming through as a compliment for something about you that is connected to the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords can be this or that thinking, but it's a very powerful card in asking us how can we release ourselves from this own self-imposed bondage where we are stuck on two options, but there's actually more. And so the alternative there is about checking in with yourself. Where can you lean into your own yeah, your best qualities that you know are there. And when people kind of acknowledge them, when you bat that away, just staying open to that and accepting that with grace. I think it takes a lot of integrity and courage to really take on something that someone sees in you as valuable.
Yeah, I really like that. And I get the sense that the more you take in, the more you're going to be able to give out. So, enormous abundance here for you, Sag. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
See you
thanks,
soon.
Saj. We'll see you at the next reading.